In this video, we'll go over some basic troubleshooting steps that you can use to try and find the source of issues you might be having with your Rhodes electronics. The accessory jacks act as an effects loop between the harp and the preamplifier. The top jack is the send, the bottom the return. The top jack is a switching jack, so that when no cable is inserted, the signal passes on through to the preamp. One common issue is the failure of the switching jack, which results in the signal no longer passing on. To determine if this is your issue, plug a 1/4-inch cable from one jack to the other. If the switching jack fails, the signal will no longer pass. If the signal now passes through, we'd recommend replacing the effects loop. To determine if the issue is with the harp itself, there are two tests you can perform. First, unplug the cable connecting the preamplifier to the suitcase. Next, plug a 1/4-inch cable into the top accessory jack. This should be the signal coming from the harp. Insert the other end of the cable into a working amplifier, PA, or console. If the signal passes, it's a clear sign there's no issue with the harp. To rule out the input cable and effects loop entirely, you can take signal directly from the harp. To do so, simply unplug the input cable from the harp. Using an RCA adapter, plug one end of a 1/4-inch cable into the harp. Plug the other end into your working amplifier, PA, or console and test the piano. If it checks out, that means the harp is fine and your issue lies elsewhere. Inside the suitcase cabinet are two independent amplifiers, and here's one way to check those out. Plug one end of a 1/4-inch cable into any working instrument. If you know your harp's good, you can go off that. Plug the other end of the cable into one of the external amplifier jacks on the suitcase. Each jack goes to a different amplifier, so be sure to check both. Another tip is to check the headphone out of the suitcase amplifier. Like we saw with the effects loop, the headphone jack is a switching jack, and if it fails, the signal won't pass on to the speakers. Thanks for watching. For additional information or to see our extensive line of vintage electric piano parts and accessories, visit us at vintagevibe.com.